Good morning. Thanks everybody for coming here. As we get started on this, which is our third European SiEE, I just wanted to give a really big welcome to you all. My name's Phil and I run the European business for Zifo. In that role, I have the great privilege of turning up here and not being so involved in the organisation. So great thanks to all the people who have put in a lot of effort, Tina, Paul and the others, but you'll probably know them yourselves, but thanks to all of that. So yeah, big welcome. This is the third time we've done it. We also run this similar event in the US, and some of you have been to both, so you'll see that they're similar but different. They're never quite the same when you run them in different regions. This is an event which, whilst we facilitate it, we make it happen. It's not a sales event. It's kind of a Zifo event, but it is an industry event. And it's here for you to talk with each other, to listen to experiences and to get information from companies that are in very similar positions to yourselves. One of the advantages that we have in a company like Zifo is that we do get to look across different companies. We can see what's happening, in many different industries. And it's really interesting how you actually have very, very similar problems and challenges. It's not really unique to one company. And I think coming to an event like this, you get that opportunity yourselves as well to come, share, understand, have that, and get ideas from people, not in any way that shares secrets, but you can maybe, I was talking with somebody this morning and they said that coming here was maybe almost like a bit of therapy. Do you find that you're not the only one with these problems and that, that person knows who they are, but I won't call them out. Over the 3 years that we're running this, and just in general, Zifo's a company that changes. Our industry is changing, massive changes. If you look back at what our industry was doing, and our industry is very general. So we're talking about everything from biotech to, let's say, the more traditional pharmaceutical companies. We do a lot of work as well in the chemical industry. And agricultural chemicals and different industries. So we do a lot of diverse things. And there's just been the most unbelievable amount of change that's gone on in those industries over the years. And even in the last 2 or 3 years, there are structural changes taking place. And Zifo is also a changing company. So the Zifo that was here 3 years ago is not the Zifo 2 years ago and not the Zifo this year. So we're moving, and a lot of you would already know this, with a lot of you we're moving into much more programmatic work, much more significant enterprise work, which goes across that, but there's still a common theme, and that common theme is it's all about science and the use of scientific data. So then that will never change. And as we do that, we really want to encourage everybody to look at, in scientific data, how do we get more value out of that? How do we accelerate things? And as we develop on that, we also as a company, even as we get bigger, we want to ensure that we continue to focus in on things like ensuring we get the value and the outcome. And, value and outcome are probably the most important things to us right now, because it's not the input that matters, it's the output, right? If you measure things on input, you rarely get much, right? It's really what impact you have. The ideal is minimum input, maximum output, not the other way around. So take advantage of this meeting. Enjoy meeting all the different people, networking. This is something I would normally say to an internal group, but go and meet people you've never met before. Don't just gravitate towards the people that you're comfortable with, because you'll learn more by going and find people that you don't know. And if you want to meet certain people, or if you want to get certain information, use the Zifo team as your networking team. So they can introduce you to people across different companies that you can go and talk to directly, and you can have the conversations you want to have. And that's it really. Just enjoy yourselves, take full advantage of it, and I hope we have another successful event. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Hemel.
Good morning, everybody. And I just wanted to say a few words to say thank you, first of all, people from all parts of the world here, West Coast, US, India, China. So thank you. It is becoming a global event, representing Zifo globally. So thank you for making the event so special. As Phil said, this is the third year in Europe, and we've done 4 in the US. And it was, where's Margaret? It was her brainchild. There she is at the back. It was her brainchild when she joined Zifo. And myself, PDG, and Phil had the privilege of going to the first event in San Francisco. And ever since then, you know, we've created it in Europe, and we do one in the US. And as Phil mentioned, the flavor's ever so slightly different, but the content is there for everybody. And I just wanted to very, very quickly say, look, this is your event. This is for you to network and mix and understand. We're not going to push Zifo down your neck or anything like that. It's really take something away. My only ask of you all is to get to know your peers and colleagues and take something away from today. All the content that we put together, your content as well, is all published on the website. The last 3 years' content from US and Europe is all available to you. So welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. Thank you. I know people have traveled from different places. So really appreciate that, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Emil. So, hi everyone, I'm Loic. I'm running the service delivery of Zifo for Europe. So thank you, Paul. Before we dive into the world of technology, the complexity, the revolution we are going through, I'm going to take you back to fundamental science, very basic one, from Lavoisier, the chemist, who has established this very fundamental principle of chemistry, which is nothing is lost, nothing is created, everything is transformed. So really, really basic things. And you may notice that Lavoisier, who died in 1794, so towards the end of the French Revolution. As you can guess, he did not make it through. And for those of you who might remember, last year I've already used a quotation from a guy who was also a contemporary of the French Revolution, which was Talleyrand. But this Talleyrand guy, he was a politician, he knew how to navigate, and he made it through. He managed to keep his head on his neck. But Lavoisier did not. So I'm not trying to create a comparison between the French Revolution and the AI Revolution. Nevertheless, there may be some interesting element into this. Because if you think about the initial moment of the French Revolution, it was full of hope. It was a project to transform life, way of living, with equality, with freedom at its very heart. 4 or 5 years later, it was a terrible dictatorship with streams of blood in Paris City. I don't think AI revolution is going to end up in the same way, unless you compare job cuts to streams of blood. But nevertheless, it took then probably 90 years from moving from this terrible agitated moment into a real stable democracy. And I think probably it's very clear that AI is going to impact us a lot. But I don't think it's going to take 90 years to make its effect lasting on us. But we'll see. That's going to be interesting. So back to Lavoisier quickly and to this event. I think what we are going to do today is what we want to create a chemistry between all of us, so we can communicate and share, as Phil was saying, our problem and share knowledge. And so we're probably going to try to violate a little bit the principle of Lavoisier. Yes, because we don't want to create nothing, but we're going to try to create value out of this event. That's the purpose, and value in the shape of knowledge sharing. So I hope you're all going to learn something today, something interesting that's going to help you moving forward in your personal journey. Thank you all.